The evil genius.
Yeah.
Oh, you came over the mic. Oh, you fucked me up with that one.
I'm in the green room. You feel me?
Damn, I caught you in the hut right now, man.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, my God. How you feeling, bro?
I'm good, bro. I can't complain. You know, I'm running this independent thinking. I'm always on your live. I see what you got going on. And, you know what I mean? I'm always tuned in and entertained because you come from an era that I really, really appreciate, because that's the era that made Smoke DZA, especially you know, crafted my sound and what I love. And
for sure.
I always throw you your roses when I see you, but you one of my favorite DJs and one of the illest people. If you know Green Lantern, you know he's an ill human being. So it's love for you to jump on this platform and, you know, give me some stories and drop some gems for the people out there and shit.
Yes, sir. Yeah, bro. Yo, you know, I just I want to salute you though. I definitely want to salute you. All the grind, all the years, all the blueprint you done laid down for the whole wave that we're in right now, which is independent. I don't know anybody right now that's still trying to, you know, shuck and jive to get a record deal. Everybody's looking around like, how do I do this myself?
Right.
How do I get the lion's share of all my work myself, since I'm gonna have to do all the videos myself, I'm gonna have to do all the marketing, I'm gonna have to call in all the favors, I gotta record myself, everything.
Facts.
You know, what's that, an iTunes placement or whatever these labels is talking about, the one thing they could do still. Get your act, because there ain't no more record stores to put you in the front no more. That was
HMV, Tower Records, that's all over at this point.
R.I.P. Amoeba in LA. It's a wrap forever, you know. But yeah, I just want to salute you because you took it from a while back, from when it was not in the space that we're in right now, and you took the torch and you ran with it.
That's love, bro. It means a lot coming from you too. It means a lot coming from you. But right, so I'm gonna get into this real fast. All right, you came in shining from an era where breaking songs happened on mixtapes. You had some pretty major ones yourself. Which was the first record that you broke on a mixtape that ended up going mainstream?
You know, my experience, it wasn't so much quote unquote breaking a record on mixtapes. It was more so the experience that I gave when you listen to what I did with records on mix. You know what I'm saying? Which is slightly different than breaking it and making it popular, going from 0 to 60. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I give it up to guys that did that. But what I did was I came in and threw the acapella underneath a different beat and put a different hook on it and made my own hook, and then just took you on a whole journey with my
facts.
Yeah, man. But I mean, the first thing, like I can't front, the first time that I ever got like gassed off of something that I did on a tape was when I think DJ Enough had caught wind of some mixtapes that I was doing in the streets, and I was still living in Rochester, New York. Shout to the Rock 585, and he called me up out the blue, and he was working at Def Jam, and he was doing a sampler, a Def Jam sampler, and he was like, "Yo, I want you to do the intro to the mixtape," and I was so gassed because this was my first big thing, anything ever, and it was just like, I always think back to that feeling, like whenever you get comfortable, think back to how hungry you was then, and how creative you was then when somebody called to ask you to just do an intro. You know what I mean? You know? So, but yeah, bro, it's a lot.
That's ill. Being from Rochester, how is it seeing artists from Rochester and Buffalo flourish right now?
It's amazing. It's amazing, bro. Like we've been putting 38 Special on tapes 12, 15 years, bro. Like it's just amazing to see, you know, doors being opened, right? So you could say like, you know, the Buffalo kids opened up the upstate door, right? Wes and them, right? Wes, Conway, Benny, shout to DJ Shay,
Mm-hmm.
gotta, and then, you know, Derringer, of course. I don't think DJ Shay gets enough respect because he
Right.
was the um, to for like from when I'm coming from Rochester and I would go to Buffalo to go slang tapes, and I would always link up with Shay. And Shay was like the guy in Buffalo that he had this thing called Unsigned City, Buff City Records. Like, you know, there's like a guy in every city that was like, all right, I'm gonna put y'all on and
Mm.
have all y'all on it. That was him. You know what I'm saying? So I always want to give him his flowers. I do this every time. He's probably sick of it by now. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know that. You just put me on, and you know I work with Shay. Like I got some shit
Yeah.
coming with Shay, so it was good to know and get this insight on that because I wasn't even aware of that being from up top. Like, I didn't know. So that's
Yeah. I mean, right now he's an ill-ass producer. But
OD.
back he was an executive producer, putting
Mm.
everybody in the city on compilations. You know what I'm saying? That's on the Buffalo side, but on the Rochester side, man, like we just had, you know, up and coming cats. You know what I'm saying? And dudes is trying to just get some type of light.
Mm.
And you know, I was putting them on mixtapes, and other cats is putting them on mixtapes, but it's like it's a hard ass grind, bro. It
Right.
took years and years and years, and it took like honestly, it took Wes, you know, a Buffalo cat, to knock down the door to where, you know, you got some flashlights, some spotlight going towards this area. You know what I'm saying? And now you got, you know, Spesh is turning it up crazy. Been a beast, we know that, but you know, Spesh been, you know, doing extracurricular things. You feel me? But now he's 100% on in the rap game and Ito and man, it's just so many, man. So it's like it's just a blessing right now. Honestly, it really is. I can't wait for this Ito album to drop because I got a joint on there.
Oh, you got to join on the Ito album?
I got a joint on that I produced on the Ito album called "Pissing in Bottles," where he's talking about being drunk. It's a return, bro.
I like Ito. I got to check that out. Shout out to Young Google, my brother Goo. He in this motherfucker right now. Right. So, you know, you got a lot of legendary mixtapes. I want to run them off. You got Royce the 5'9" Bar Exam. The Champ is here, Jadakiss, which is one of my favorites ever, and Public Enemy, to name a few, with Beanie Siegel. Those are like albums to me because they wasn't really mixtapes. What do you think about getting those on DSPs? Like, what's holding those back from being on DSPs?
Sample clearance.
Mm.
So I'm gonna put you on to something right now. You heard this it's dubstep, DUBSET, dubset.
Dubset.
Dubset, not dubstep, the music genre. Dubset, DUBSET.
Mm.
What they are, I want everybody out there to write this down if you care about this type of shit. What they did is they came up with a technology that scans music in order for writers to get paid. So it will scan whoever owns the master recording of a song, like say number one, say I used a Biggie beat, right, or whatever beat.
Right.
They have a technology that can scan the song, see that I used this beat, and pay all the writers and
Wow.
pay who owns the master, what label owns the master. So they have a deal with Sony, and they have a deal with Warner, which is Atlantic, and you know, I'm talking distributors now, right? So you got Universal Music Group, you got Warner, and you have Sony, correct? You got the three big ones, and you got Merlin on the indie side. They got Merlin, Sony, they got Warner. They just don't have Universal Music Group. So I say all that to say is that when this company locks in that deal with Universal Music Group, all of our mixtapes should be able to be up on DSPs.
Ooh. How close are we to getting that? Is that a far process or is that something close?
It's not hard at all. It's not hard. They literally it analyzes it. It's some algorithm technology that they have that scans the recording, and if it's registered with a distributor, it's gonna pay. So good money.
What was your experience making these projects, and did you see them impacting the way that they did when you did it at the time?
Say the last part.
I said what was your experience making these projects, and did you see it impacting the way that it did at the time when you was creating it?
Man, I can't front, bro. It was just surreal. A lot of times, like going to Beanie Siegel crib, you know, to do, you know, and he's on house arrest.
That's why I laughed, because I already knew what this was coming. I already knew.
He's got his engineer in the basement, and he's just recording, you know, with the M-Box back in the day, and he would have all his guys there. And this was back when the only people that really was on lean was Houston and Philly. I don't know if you remember that. Philly was early on the lean too with Houston, and all of his guys literally by like 8 o'clock in the morning would be strewn out across the floor with like these little paper bags. And I'm like, what the hell is this shit? He's like, they leaked out, bro. It's gone. It's over. It's time to go home. I'm like, this shit is crazy, bro.
Oh shit.
But I will say this. Doing those tapes, and a lot of those tapes ended up being what they call better than the album that they were supposed to promote. And I say that very humbly. You know me personally, bro. You know I'm a humble guy.
Trust me, you ain't even got to tell me, because I already know.
You know me. So in that respect, doing something that is largely regarded on the streets to this day, these were I caught a little window with some of these where they was put in place to promote somebody's album that was coming, right? Yeah. And you know, the consensus is, you know, the thing that came before the album is actually better than that album. You feel me? And to this, you know, it's a good feeling. It is a good feeling. But I feel like there should be not a plaque, but you understand what I'm saying? It should be some sort of something that goes along with that. That's why I'm all for putting them up on the DSPs so we can ring some bells. We can get some numbers up on these actual things.
That's some real shit. See, Ghoul, I'm reading Ghoul, what he's saying right now. He said some shit to me. I gotta ask you this, because you know I'm a Jay-Z stan too. What happened to the Jay-Z mixtape that y'all was supposed to do?
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you what happened. Yo, Goo, you ready? Yo, Goo, you ready? Bring out the flutes for this one, Goo.
Bring out the flutes,
Goo. So at this point, I'm DJing for Jay-Z. This is 2006. He's on the comeback, getting ready to drop Kingdom Come. So we playing mixtapes. At this time, I had the Uncle Murder mixtape out. And Bleak is playing this shit non-stop on the road. Shout to man Bleak. He's the one who got Hove on the Murder. And then Hove goes one day randomly. He's just like, "Well, you gotta do my tape then." And I was like, "Playing, bro. Don't play. Don't play now. You know, because this was the second tape that Hove, the Green Lantern Jay-Z was supposed to do that didn't come out. The first one was Corporate Takeover in 2005. But the second one that we actually, well, nobody knew about the first one, but the second one we actually did a little bit of promo for. We announced it, and it just never came. Really because by the end of the tour, it was too close to the album coming. and you didn't this monster mixtape that was about to drop on your head. 20 exclusive Jay-Z songs to go up against a whole nother batch of brand new Jay-Z songs that they want you to buy in a month. Not even a month. It was like 3 weeks. It just was too close. And that's that.
Did any of those records ever end up trickling out? The records?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I trickled a couple of them out.
So let me ask you a question, because it was a rumor I heard back then, and I always wanted to ask y'all this, and Ghoul, you could comment too. Did Hov record a verse for you on a private jet?
Nah, not on the jet. We was in the hotels, and I made joints. I was making shit on the jet, on the MP, but we never had the mic on the jet.
Okay. So you was creating the beats on the jet. Y'all never.
Yeah.
Because I heard that before. I'm like, if that nigga did that, man, y'all niggas is the illest niggas. Even though y'all the illest niggas ever anyway. But so that happened in Australia, Guru said.
We was in Australia. Yo, let me tell you. Jay flew. He was up against the clock to hand in Kingdom Come. So he flew Guru out for like the second half of the last half of the tour because he had to finish. So after the shows, it would be straight to the studio. And it would be like Guru's in there because, he's the trusted engineer that knows Jay's vocals and the settings and is comfortable with him. So, boom, Guru's there, right? So, man, shit is so crazy when people like this is how I like Jay-Z stories of me sitting next to him and he's picking the beats to finish the album, and he's sitting there mumbling for 20 minutes while we're talking amongst ourselves. And he goes, all right. And he goes in the booth and does it. When you hear them stories, that shit is real, bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. See, I know damn, that's crazy. I know you got something going on this kind of genre right here that we about to step into. But I already had this question, so it's funny. So we can segue into your shit. You've been on the road with the best of them. Nas, Hov, 50, M. Give me a good tour story. Pick one.
Don't forget.
Pick one out there.
Gun.
Give me one. I need one from any one of them.
One what?
A tour story.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you some crazy shit. So let me pick. So all right, we're gonna say Jay-Z. And then what's crazy is this is a perfect time for me to.
I did it.
Yes, this is a perfect time for me to plug my new show, which starts tomorrow. Right here on IG Live, on DJ Green Lantern, IG Live, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. It's called Backstage Pass with DJ Green Lantern. And my first guest is our boy, Westside to the Gun, who got that Pray for Pass. It's all about tour stories, crazy-ass tour stories, like crazy shit. So I'm going to tell you one right now. Damn, if I could just remember this shit. That was a J joint. Yo, I'm bugging right now. I just forgot that. I'm gonna come back to it. I got an M joint though. So Eminem had a body double. He was so huge at the time. He was
had a body double?
Body double, straight up. He had a body to throw off people, to literally like walk in the front of a hotel and to throw off people that's looking for him. That's how big he was. He literally had a body double. And I forgot what the kid's real name was, but we used to call him Partial Mathers.
Because he was partial.
And you can confirm this story with our boy Lord Sear. Ask Lord Sear about this. Lord Sear. So we're in Europe touring somewhere, and this, mind you, this is the height. This is Eminem show. This is it, right? So there's people out front of the hotel screaming and literally, waiting for you to be, rock star out the window, all of that jazz. And Lord Sear was on the tour with us. He was part of the show. He would like open the show. He was like the ringmaster. It was like a circus. So anyway, it's me, Partial, and Lord, and we in a hotel room, and Sear, I think we must have been in Sear's room because he had a pair of dirty drawers. His dirty, and he took a Sharpie and wrote Eminem on his big ass dirty drawers. You know how big Sear is, and he threw him out the window. Threw him out the window. They caught him, and it made the news the next day.
Where was y'all at when this happened? This was dirty. Where did this happen at?
This was like Ireland, Scotland, one of them joints.
Oh my God. Oh my. That's fucking. Goose said to ask you about the time that J and B walked in the studio and y'all had it filled with smoke.
Oh my God. Yeah, I felt Beyonce, but I was dying. So, remember the Jay-Z beat where he rapped over it and it was made out. It sounded like a tennis match, and it went in it.
That was for the sneaker.
Right. So, John Manili calls me randomly one day and is like, "Yo, we're doing a S. Carter tennis version." So this was like the second version of the S. And we want a commercial for it, something for the radio. So I was like, all right, cool, tennis. So I taped a tennis match off the TV, sampled the sounds, and I made a beat out of it. And I cut up Jay-Z saying like game type shit, like shit about the game, And then he said he has sports references like about being in the game, and he has some dirty love, like he had made some tennis references. I cut all that shit up, put it in the beat. He heard it. Manili played it for him, and he was like, "That shit's crazy." Number one. Number two, Jay said, "Loop the beat. He's coming to the studio, and he wants to rap over it." This was supposed to just be a commercial, so he the beat so much he wanted to rap over it. So that's where the Game Is Mine joint comes from. Product of environment, that verse. So he comes to the studio and he got Beyonce with him. Mind you, we've been in the studio for 6 hours, and it's Chong in that joint. It is lit crazy. You can't even see.
It's looking like a session right there.
It's looking like Kush God Crip. Okay, it's looking like right. And I look over, she's just chilling. She's just like to herself while he's in the booth writing at this point. So now I'm like, do we stop smoking? Do we stop smoking though? Like it was just, I felt, cause I was like, yo, this smoke is getting in her hair right now. And that's Beyonce. she didn't go into the lounge. She could have did that. She could have broke out of the room. Right. She stayed. Ooh, if you still in, she stayed.
She stayed in the session. That's fire.
In the room, though. She from Houston. On all of contact.
Oh man, that's fucking amazing, bro. That's fucking amazing. So we spoke about the mixtape era, right? And the mixtapes were the A&Rs at that time. And then right now the internet is the new A&R. What's your take on that change? Like, is it much of a change? It's not much of a change for you because clearly you're still the evil genius. But how did you feel about that transaction? Like, how did you feel about that transition, so to speak?
What? in a way, I'm actually thankful because it's less people beating down my door trying to get me to play their CDs, so I could just go get back to blending acapellas, which is what I do. You feel me? But I, being a mixtape DJ, I did venture off into promoting new artists that I liked. So that just brought more. You know what I'm saying? And which is fine, which is cool. But to answer your question, though, it is what it is. Like, it's just evolution. And technology, meaning the internet, evolved where we are. Like, look at this. We're sitting on Instagram Live.
Right.
Right. You just gotta, stick and move. You know what I'm saying? So as far as like the blogs came after, as far as, first it was the DJs, then it was the blogs that became the A&R. If they liked your joint, they posted it. If they didn't, they didn't, and now it's social media, so if it's one thing I really kind of don't like though is the groupthink that you get media about a project drops and it's Thursday night and technically Friday at midnight something drops, and before you even get to go check it out for yourself, you might be scrolling Twitter or whatever and you hear, oh, this shit's trash, this shit's he dropped a dud and a half, and you hear 17 people say that, you're like, you're here
believing it
influence you, bro.
Right.
So, but other than that, bro, it's technology. We just gotta rise above and rise to the occasion and flip and bounce.
Like I said, you always been an A&R, and like Goose said, you made Mixtapes a movie. What's your approach in finding new artists? Because it's artists in here right now. Shout out to OT the Real. I know it's a lot next to you, and they probably don't even know the process and how to be found, because some people, get found, and that's like a better way when you discover this instead of something else. How does that work?
You said the perfect example. OT the Real. I'm gonna tell you, in the last 10 years, the amount of people that I actually listened to and listened, and then I listened again, maybe on one hand, I could tell you the amount of people that I heard and I reached out to them and was like, yo, I dig your shit. One of them was just OT the Real. I just sent him 4 beats. He just killed all of them. I'm about to put a whole project out with him. And he's on it. He's going crazy by himself. He got bars for days. I got 10,000 beats sitting over here. He did his thing on 3 or 4 of them. Let's put it out. You know what I'm saying? But what like, because I think this was your question, is what do I look for and whatnot, is just somebody like, well, for him, it was authenticity. You know what I'm saying? That's what drew me to him, was like, yo, this is the same thing that drew me to Uncle Murder, the detailed realism. That's what that's the phrase I like to say, details. It's in the details. You could tell if somebody's really about that life or really lived that life if it's in the details. Like, this guy really lived and he can articulate. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I look for.
Shout out to OT the Real. I fuck with him too.
Yeah.
Definitely authentic. You can feel the pain in his shit, and it's visual. So you see what that is. So I got a good fun DJ question for you. Right. So let's start off with this. This is an easy one. Let's say they building a DJ Mount Rushmore, and they come to you to put the faces on it. Who you putting on it?
How many we got? What's that, 4?
We could make the ghetto Mount Rushmore. So I'm gonna give it 5 because we always got a top 5. So 4 ain't fair. We go 5.
Right. So we gotta go. So what's my Mount Rushmore?
Yep.
Kid Capri, Funk Master Flex, and these are for different reasons, right? Kid Capri for the crowd rocking, party rocking. Funk Master Flex for making a movie on the radio. We talking doo-wop.
Oh.
First of all, I can't wait for this doo-wop Tony Touch thing on Saturday.
Oh yeah.
What we living in right now?
We've been fat.
About to do go head to head on just playing each other freestyles from their tapes. Like, we in such a crazy world right now with this corona shit, got everybody online and shit, but doo-wop, for how he put the tapes together, and he had a game on the tape. You feel what I'm saying? A big deal, you know. So we got Kid Capri, we got Flex, we got doo-wop, DJ Drama. Come on, bro. And Clue.
Oh.
Drama and Clue. You know, I'm a mixtape kid, so I'm gonna lean to the mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? That's my era. But there's so many more. Like Mr. C, like, come on, bro. Like, Mr. C is your favorite DJ's favorite DJ. So that's my six man. You feel me?
Ron G will probably be on my list too. I love Ron G. And legend. Ron used to come pick me up from school, Green. The nigga used to pick school on Fridays and take me to Yonkers to come do the intro for his mixtapes, bro. Facts. Shout out to Big Light. You know what I mean? That era.
Shout to Harlem Music Hut, bro.
The Harlem Music Hut. Shout out to Burkinas. You know what I mean? That type of
sweet. Jimbo.
What before I let you go, what advice would you give any aspiring artist, DJ, A&R trying to break into our culture right now?
When you think you're going hard, go harder.
Ether.
My boy Beats, who does like a lot of trap beats and stuff, he got this thing. He got a couple things. One is don't overthink shit, which definitely is a rule. But number two is he said some shit, and it stuck with me. He's like, yo, you know what? I feel like I could be going 200% harder than I'm going right now. I looked at him like, wow. That shit struck a nerve. Like, yo, you think you're going hard? Fucking go harder, bro. Because the only person who's going to help is you. You know? Like, you're not going as hard as you could go. I don't care how hard you're going. You can go harder.
That's some ill shit, and I'm sure a lot of my friends are gonna text me right now, like, you should go harder, nigga. You heard what Green said. Much love to you, bro. Much love to your ambiance right now. I'm talking to the evil genius Green Lantern with the green ambiance in the back. This is like,
bro, we live
right here.
We are live in the green room, my brother.
In the motherfucking green room. And yo, I got some beats of yours that's in my.
Yes, you do.
I got some beats of yours. I gotta handle that. Also, Eddie Cole. We need to talk Eddie Cole.
Come on,
shout
bro.
out to the great Eddie Cole. We got a few joints, and I believe we got a little project that we all trying to formulate. And after this league is over, I'm coming back to that other side, and we're gonna finish this thing off. We're gonna finish it off.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm trying to catch some of these comments real quick. I ain't see.
Shout out to Vok. Yeah, cultural gatherings, Vok. You already know. I got to get you up here too, man. You big on that independent thinking, man.
Before we go, though, I gotta do this though. You feel me? I gotta look at
Strictly Business. Shout out to EP&D, Eric and Parrish.
You know what Five Dog said? My favorite rap group of our time is EP&D. And on that, love you, my bro.
My brother, I love you too. Thank you so much. I'm gonna hit you later on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Peace and love.
Peace. Shout out to the evil genius, Green Lantern.